Okay, when we want to know something about a triangle, something about the sides of a triangle, we're only dealing with sides, then we have a very famous equation that we probably all remember, which is called the Pythagorean theorem. And the Pythagorean theorem says that side A squared plus side B squared equals side C squared. Okay, now the sides that you choose for A and B don't really matter, but C always, always, always must represent the hypotenuse of the triangle. Okay, so you have to first identify the hypotenuse. That one has to be C, and then you can assign A and B to either one of the other sides. Okay, so let's try that. So I'm going to make this side A, and I'm going to make this side B, because I know that this is my hypotenuse. Okay, all right, so we would have 3 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared, right? I'm going to keep the C there because I don't know what that one is. So 3 squared gives me 9, 4 squared gives me 16, that gives me C squared. I add this together, I get 25. Now I don't want to know what C squared is, I want to know what C is, and so that's where I have to come and do the square root. So C equals the square root of 25, which is 5. Right, now this is just a math problem. Here's how it becomes a physics problem. I walked 4 meters west, right? So let's say we just make this 4 meters west. I'm going to make this 3 meters north. Okay, so I walked 4 meters west and then 3 meters north. What is my displacement? Okay, now it's a physics problem. This is my start. This is my end. Remember, displacement is the straight line between where I started and where I ended up. So when I do my Pythagorean theorem, I find out that my displacement would be 5 meters north and west from where I started, so 5 meters northwest. Okay, let's try one more. In this case, we know the hypotenuse. We're looking for one of these other sides. So when I set this up, I'm going to make this one A and this one B. You could do it either way. Okay, those can switch around, but this one has to be C. So I'm going to say A squared plus 6 squared, right? That's my B, equals 10 squared. That was my hypotenuse. So A squared plus 36 equals 100. Now I got to move stuff around to get the A by itself. So I'm going to subtract 36 from each side. And A squared equals 64. I take the square root. I take the square root. So side A is going to be 8 meters. Right? In this case, the units that we had are meters. So that's why it's meters. Okay, and that's what we would get. And again, it could be set up in a problem like this, where we know the displacement, we know how far they walked in one direction, and we want to figure out what the how far they walked in the opposite direction. Okay? All right, that's a little bit on the Pythagorean theorem.